Ah. Ah. Ah.
Fuck me. This one is so bad. Like, I opened this up and I was like, the opening looks okay. It kind of looks like, you know, those fake silhouette things, you know, the things you put in the glass picture frame and it's supposed to look fake, you know. That looks really cool. And then I got more further into it. And then I was like, oh my god, this is a CGI mess. This is a CGI mess. Like, how could, okay, what year is this made? Doesn't matter. It should be no excuse. It's, oh my god, I could see like some older animes like that use the fake CGI or the CGI just cause it's like, oh look, we can do this on the CGI car because we don't have to draw it anymore, and I get that, and sometimes it's just for like a few scenes, but this shit is everywhere. So with that being said, let's get to the main characters, or characters in very giant quotation marks because there are only 4, and yes, there is a backstory besides just baking shit because you can. Keiichiro, when he was years old, was abducted by some guy and escaped, as years later it haunts him. How does it haunt him? He makes a bakery. Yeah, that's how you get through your trauma. Baking. The thing that he gave you. Cake. Yeah, that's I think this guy might need more therapy than what we think. Yeah, like literally, he decides to leave his high-paying job to make a bakery. And his parents are just like, okay, sure, why not? I'd be like, son, you know what happened, and I'd be like, here, time to go back to the therapist. He hires a man named Yusuke, who has a past with him as well. Once upon a flashback, Ono had a crush on Keiichi. Keiichi literally said he was disgusting and to go die, making him basically forget him until they met. Oopsie. He became a main cook as he'd meet a kid named EJ, who was a boxer. Boxer to a chef. It's like going from a black belt in karate to owning a cash lump place. I'm sorry, uncle. I'm very sorry. EJ was told by his coach to retire even though he didn't want to. Why they said for him to? Well, the reason is that for him to get punched in the face a lot could basically break off stuff in his face, you know, like he could lose an eye, he could lose teeth, it could just basically fuck him up. Another character that comes in that same episode is close to Keiichi. They're cousins? Brothers? I think they're just cousins actually, but I don't know, but Keiji is his name, and he calls Kurochi Master because of the game they used to play. I'm gonna have to stop there because that's still weird. Stop playing that. Yes, he's rich, but stop. Ono likes Keiichi. That's pretty much it. Like, literally, that's it. There's a scene where, like, he takes off his glasses to be funny, and it's like, no, please stop, it hurts me. Also, I want to show you something. Take a look at Keiichi from episode 1. Now look at episode 2. Why does he look like a side character now? Also, it's a CGI mess. Like I already said, but oh my god, look at the CGI. Look at it. It's so god awful. Nothing's drawn except for the anime characters. It's oh my god. They also decided to add side stories to like these characters that come into like every once in a while. Like the guy who is a boxer with Eiji, who basically comes in as just like a guy who bakes cake. Oh wait, I'm a boxer. Oh, I got beaten up in the face because of a consequence, and my wife is pregnant. Oopsie. And then there was a guy who finds out that Ono is with Keiichi because they were in love. I don't know. And a detective who helps find Kurochi's kidnapper, which I thought you guys would capture him like the day the kid escaped. But you know, I guess you guys suck. And also Eiji's coach, and there's a lot more that comes in. Like there are characters that I get it. Side characters come everywhere, but they're all from just one episode. Except for the detectives, and it's just like, go away. If I wanted a love story like to bloom between these people, I understand. But there is nothing I remember from anyone. The only one side characters I remember with is the pregnant wife and the boxer guy. And I was just like, damn, this actually goes on a little bit about boxing being really dangerous. And that was interesting. Like, there are husbands and wives that fear for like their lovers because they know the consequence, but sometimes they're just like, I'm on my top game like Eiji was, and it's just like, I'm gonna keep doing this because I know I won't get hit. And then when you get hit, you're just like, oh fuck, maybe I shouldn't have done it, maybe I should have listened to my lovers. Thanks, Rocky Balboa. Anyway, also there's an episode with Ano where he is physically beaten because of someone he had sex with that came back from his past, and he ran away from him because he was physically abusive and came back to him, even though he knew he was physically abusive, got physically beaten up, and still said that he loved him. This is mental torture. Anyway, the plot continues as we find out that Kurochi is having continuous nightmares. Shocking, but you know, that happens whenever you have mental trauma from the past. But he doesn't remember anything really from the dreams besides, well, trauma actually does help with your brain kind of be like, tuck this away, you don't need to remember it. All he remembers is that a man who kidnapped him only fed him sweets, and he escaped by stabbing the man in the leg. We find out later that the kidnapper did it because his son, who he loved dearly, loved sweets that had died. From what? I don't know. Kurochi later on is brought to the place where a kid is kidnapped by the same man who had kidnapped him and saved the kid. It all ends with the man being freed. Wait, what? Wait, no. He's killed kids, dude. You escaped. You and that other kid escaped. He killed kids. He killed kids. Why did you let him free? Yeah, he's free. Like, in there, he buys a cake from Kurochi and everything. What is so good? What is so good about this? I like this, like, here's some things I do like. I like the story with Eiji and how he has to fight between being a boxer and a chef. Both things that you like, but at the same time, it's like one that could physically hurt me and cause me pain later on, especially if it's done to any of my face and like it affects me mentally, it affects me physically. I like that story. That story gets me thinking because I know my uncle who does karate, and there are times where he has to stop and take a step away from that because even though it is karate, like there are times where he's told me that he's seen people just break bones during fights and breaking their hands during like to karate chop wood and stuff. It's dangerous. Boxing is dangerous. Karate's dangerous, and it's something that I didn't think a bakery thing would touch on. And then there is the things I don't like. The things I don't like, the plot, the other characters. I admit the story for Kurochi was interesting until they showed the man's face in the backstory. If you want to hide your character's face to the end, especially the bad guy who did it, fine, make it interesting. There are a bunch of old shows that actually do this, revealing the bad guy to near the very end. It's like Inspector Gadget. See how his face is hidden? It's not even really shown. So why would you show that? I don't know. Another thing is that Ano was hinted at multiple times to love Keiichi. This thing that pissed me off probably not the most, but it was a lot. Ano was hinted multiple times to like Keiichi. But guess what? He be fucking everyone who breathes. Okay, I get it's your preference. I get you doing this. But if you want Keiichi to like you, stop it. Because he actually, at one point, you two had a good conversation about how you two might be a thing for each other, but then you brushed him off. Keiichi was just like, wait a minute, he even cried for you, and then you still wouldn't accept his love. And it's like, what the fuck? He's playing everyone for sport here, and you then complain, I can't find love. Yeah, you can. You just fucking everyone without giving them a chance a day. And especially whenever Kurochi was like, yeah, no. It's just like, god damn it. I truly came open-minded with this one. Like, for real, I was just like, Allison, if you don't know, there's a series about her, but Allison recommended me this because she said, it's really cute. I thought it was super funny. They have super funny faces. And I was like looking at it and I was like, this is an older one. I can get behind this. Okay, let's try and go through this. Let's see with this. Because, you know, it's about 4 guys. Maybe there'd be like a love triangle. Maybe there'd be some kind of interesting past. No. No. With some love animes like Citrus or Tyrant Falls in Love, they have backstories that affect them personally, and how they've ended up here is drastic. Okay, with Ano, yes, it changed him, but at the same time, the fucking thing with him being a devilish gay, it...
ゆうちゃん有名なんだから 魔性のゲイってね。
しょうがな。
It's just like, who cares? No one cares. No one. No one evolved during this. All I remember is that Edgy was still just like, boxing? Oh, I love boxing. KG was just like, master, and I'm like, fuck you, shut up. Honor was just like, anyone who breathes, come fuck me, who's a man. And it's just, fuck me. So what can I personally tell people about this? It's slow. It's a CGI mess. Whenever there was action happening, it wasn't really. The only one I can actually say that I personally liked was Eiji. That was edgy. And it was just like, that's it, because it was, I don't know. Nothing really interesting happened. I just want to get this thing over with. To the wheel!